The icebox was a wooden cabinet, usually lined with metal on the inside. A big block of ice was placed in the top compartment, and food was stored below. Cold air from the ice would chill everything inside. As the ice melted, water collected in a drip tray that had to be emptied regularly. In winter, ice was cut from frozen lakes, stored in special ice houses, and delivered to homes during warmer months. There was a whole industry around it. Ice delivery men hauled huge blocks through the streets. People put signs in their windows to signal they needed ice. And kids, they loved chasing the ice wagon, hoping for a free chunk to chew on. Things changed in the 1920s and 30s, when electric refrigerators started appearing. At first, they were expensive, but they didn't require constant ice deliveries. As electricity became more widespread and appliances got cheaper, the icebox became obsolete. By the 1950s, it was almost completely gone. The icebox is a reminder of a time when keeping food fresh was a daily challenge. Today it seems outdated, but back then, no kitchen could function without one. When you walk into someone's home and step into their living room, you probably don't think much of it. But once upon a time, this room spoke volumes about wealth, upbringing, and social class. Today, it's just where the TV and couch are. But in the past, it was something much more. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, the living room, or the parlor, as it was often called, was the family's showroom. That's where guests were welcomed, and that's where families displayed their finest items: mahogany furniture, porcelain sets, paintings, even a piano. This room wasn't used every day. It was meant to impress. The more elegant and refined the parlor, the higher the family's perceived status. But times changed. After revolutions, wars, and growing urbanization, living spaces got smaller and homes became simpler. In places like the Soviet Union, standardized apartments like the Khrushchevka left little room for luxury. The living room became a multi-purpose space, used for sleeping, eating, and entertaining, all in one. Practicality replaced elegance. No more rooms just for show. Today, the living room is simply the center of daily life. There's a TV, a couch, maybe a game console or a laptop. We value comfort and coziness, not crystal cabinets or untouched furniture. Few people have a guest-only room anymore. Now it's all about how a space feels to live in, not just how it looks. The living room has evolved, from a luxurious symbol of class to a laid-back space where you can wear pajamas and eat pizza in front of your favorite show. And maybe that's the real luxury, after all. Today, it's hard to imagine a home with rooms not meant for the family, but for servants. Yet, in the 19th and early 20th centuries, that was completely normal. What were these spaces for? Why were they built, and why did they disappear? Let's take a look. Wealthy households had a full team of domestic staff, maids, cooks, butlers, nannies, all essential to daily life. To keep things running smoothly and discreetly, homes were carefully designed. Servants had separate entrances, back staircases, and hidden hallways so they could move around without disturbing the owners. Servants' quarters were usually located in the attic, the basement, or in the back wing of the house. These were small, bare rooms, often with just a bed, a washstand, and a cabinet. They weren't about comfort or privacy, just a place to rest between duties. Function came first. After revolutions, wars, and the rise of modern technology, the need for live-in servants quickly declined. The arrival of household appliances, running water, and electricity meant much of the manual labor could now be done with the push of a button. And more importantly, the idea of home changed. It became a space for family, not a place divided between masters and staff. Today, the only reminders of servants' quarters are the tiny attic rooms or narrow staircases in old buildings. But these spaces are a window into a time. Imagine living in a large house or hotel in the early 20th century. The kitchen is in the basement. The dining room is on the second floor. How do you quickly and conveniently deliver meals without carrying trays up the stairs? The answer: the mechanical kitchen lift. The first prototypes of such lifts appeared in the 19th century. They were used in hotels and wealthy homes in Britain and the USA. The invention is credited to American engineer George W. Cannon, who patented a compact food lift in 1887. The design was simple: a shaft, rails, a small cabin, and a manual pulley system with a counterweight. The mechanical kitchen lift saved time and energy for servants. A cook could place hot dishes on the platform, raise them to the desired floor, and a waiter upstairs could immediately serve them to guests. It was especially convenient in hotels, restaurants, and large mansions where the kitchen was far from the dining area. Over time, mechanical lifts began to vanish for several reasons. Fire safety: the shaft could act as a chimney for flames and smoke. Hygiene regulations: in some countries, open food lifts were banned to prevent contamination. Electrification: manual systems were replaced by faster, safer electric lifts. Changes in architecture: kitchens were placed closer to dining rooms, making such devices less necessary. Today, mechanical kitchen lifts can still be found, but mostly in old buildings, museums, or theaters. Some restaurants use modern versions, electric dumbwaiters, but these are a new generation of technology. The mechanical kitchen lift is a reminder of a time when even serving dinner could be an engineering marvel. Once, you could see them in almost every home, above a door or a window. A small sash that opened separately, the transom window. Today, they've almost disappeared, and that's a shame. A transom window is a small window set above a door or a larger window frame. In Soviet-era apartments, they were installed above entrance doors, in schools, above classroom doors, and in old mansions, above large windows. Its main purpose was ventilation. You could open it to let fresh air in without swinging the whole window wide open. In a time before air conditioners and efficient exhaust fans, a transom window could save you from stuffiness. It allowed you to ventilate even in winter. Since the airflow came from above, it didn't blow directly on people. In apartment buildings, it helped remove smells and dampness. And in schools or offices, transoms were opened with a long pole with a hook, a true symbol of old public buildings. In the 1990s and 2000s, the mass replacement of old wooden frames with plastic windows made transoms a victim of progress. Modern windows often have a microventilation function, so a separate little sash isn't considered necessary anymore. In new buildings, designers and builders avoid transoms in favor of a solid glass pane and a clean exterior look. Plus, making them is more expensive and technically complicated than producing standard windows. Today, transoms are rare, but in old buildings they still work, and they still do their job perfectly. For many, they're a symbol of childhood, unlocking the latch, pulling it open, and feeling the fresh air flow in. For architecture lovers, they're a small but important detail that gives a building character. Maybe one day, transoms will come back into style.